Welcome to our video series on creating and using mini-sites. In this video, we'll look at more about getting your mini-site live on the web. To use AceFTP to copy some files from your computer to your website, and in this demonstration, I'm going to copy some web pages I've created, and they're on the desktop here. I've navigated to my Windows desktop. And here are the files, and I'm going to copy them to my website. But first of all, if I'm going to copy them, I have to connect to my website. So you would have to do the same to copy files to your website. And here's how you do it. File, Connect, and this appears, AceFTP Site Profiles. Then what you want to do is File, Create, New Site Profile, then enter a site description. For my site, I just give it a name, my domain name. So, allportpublishing.com. Then you type in the server, and you'll need to check some of these details with your web host, because these details can change from web host to web host, and specifically from domain to domain, from website to website. So if you aren't sure, ask your web host for the correct FTP connection details. In my case, the server is ftp.allportpublishing.com. Generally, I leave the port at 21. I find that works fine. Then the user ID. Type in your user ID. Then finally, your password. I'm not going to save the password in this instance, and I'm going to paste my password into the box there. Connect to the site when the wizard's complete. I'm going to leave that unticked. So next, and I'm going to leave those both blank for now. And let's finish. So now we have a new profile, a new site profile called allportpublishing.com. Then it's very simple to connect. Just select it, File, it's actually the Connection menu, and Connect. And actually, interestingly, because I chose not to save the password, it prompts me. And it will prompt me every time I try to connect. So saving the password obviously is a shortcut. But in this case, I'll just paste it in again, and OK. You see, you can get a lot of information here about what's happening. Some of it is quite technical, and you don't need to worry about it. But it tells you that it's connected, and so on and so forth. So now, importantly, in the bottom right corner here, it's connected to my website in this instance, and it lists what's on my website. So, some folders, and again, check with your web host, but generally, the actual web pages that appear to the public, you upload them into public_HTML folder, or something similar. But again, check with your web host. And the way you navigate around is very similar to the way you navigate your computer. If you want to go into a folder, you double-click. And you can see we're now in that backup folder. And if you want to go up a folder, you click here. Okay, now what I've done, if we click here, we can see the full address. I've gone into the public HTML folder, and I've gone into a temp folder. And the actual web address for this, if we go to the browser, the actual web address is allportpublishing.com/temp. So because I'm connecting to the domain allportpublishing.com via FTP, the public HTML folder, which is the main folder where you upload web pages to, and again, check with your web host if you aren't sure, that address is allportpublishing.com on the web, and the temp folder is /temp. And if we go to that address, I have a blank page there at the moment. It's just a temporary folder I occasionally use. So going back to AceFTP, there's our blank page, and we can delete it. We've clicked on it to select it, and then if you go to the right menu, because you're dealing with the right-hand side, your web host, right, and delete. Are you sure you want to delete? Yes. So now, if I go right and refresh to see the latest view, there we go. It's now blank because I deleted the only folder in the temp, or rather I deleted the only file in the temp folder, and now it's empty. If you go to the browser now, there's our blank page. If I refresh, you see I get a listing, a server listing, and it's all empty. So that's how you delete files on your server, on your actual web host, using FTP software. So let's minimize the browser, and now you want to copy files. So let's find a file to copy. Let's copy index.html, or rather, let's start with coffee.html. So click to select, edit, copy to right, and there we go. It's appeared on the website. It's as simple as that. So back to the browser, refresh, and now we have the coffee file. And you generally want to end your web pages in .html, as you can see. Back to FTP. Okay, I've selected the file. Just click to select. Right menu, and we can rename it. And let's rename it t.html. Then press Enter, or the return key, and there we go. Back to the browser and refresh. And okay, it doesn't seem to be responding, so let's try again. There we go. And if we click that file, we can view it. So let's go back to FTP. Now, what's important to know is, and actually let me go back to the browser just to demonstrate this point. Let's go back. And you see in this temp folder, I have one file called t.html. And if I go to the folder, as you can see, it doesn't show me the web page. It gives me a folder listing. Generally, you want a page to display automatically, and the way to do that is you call one of your pages, your main page, so to speak, your home page, you call it index.html. So if we go back to FTP and the index.html, click here on my computer, edit, copy to right, and there we go. There's our index.html file. Back to the browser. We're in the temp folder. Refresh, and you see it now automatically opens the index.html file. So whenever someone is visiting your domain or a subfolder, you want a page to appear automatically. And the page you want to appear automatically is your home page, or you could even call it the home page of a folder. And you want to call that file index.html. And we have some links here. And this link, in fact, goes back to index.html. It's linking to itself, so of course when you click it, you don't go anywhere, because this link is linking to this file. And this links to page1.html. And actually, just to demonstrate this point, if I resize the browser, if you look here, this here at the bottom of the browser is what's called the status bar, and I'm going to move it right next to the links. When I hold the mouse over the link, you can see where that link goes, and that link's meant to go to page1.html. This one's meant to go to page 2, page2.html. So let's maximize the browser, and if I click on that link, page1.html, I get this, of course, because the page isn't there. So what I need to do is upload page1.html. So back to FTP. Where's our file? Page1.html. There it is. Click once. If you click again, you see that it tries to rename it. So you want to click around here on the same line as the file. Just click there and highlight it. OK, right. Excuse me, wrong menu. Edit, copy to right. So we're uploading page1.html back to the browser. Let's go back a page, and we're here, index.html, which you could say is our root page for this folder or our home page for this folder. Now, if you click on the page 1 link, which goes to page1.html, it displays page1.html because that page now exists. And actually, I'm going to demonstrate one final point here of FTP. I'm going to create a folder. So write, create new folder. And there's our folder. Let's call it testing and press return. There's our testing folder. And of course, if we double-click it, we'll see that it's empty. So let's go back up a folder. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to select this page1.html file, go to the right menu, because we're dealing with the right-hand side of the screen, which is my website. Choose Cut. Double-click into the testing folder. OK, right. And paste. Are you sure you want to move all the files? No to copy instead of move it, but I want to move it, so yes. So there's our page1.html now in the testing subfolder. If we go up a folder, OK, let's refresh. It doesn't always refresh automatically, it seems. And there we go. Our page1.html file is now gone from this folder because we've cut and pasted it into the testing folder. If we go back to the browser, and from the temp folder, if we go to the testing folder, there's our listing, and there's our page1.html. So if I go back a page, OK, it's showing temp/page1.html because it's stored it in memory. That sometimes happens with browsers, with web browsers. Sometimes it shows a page which isn't there. If I refresh, that's right, it's now fully refreshed, and it's saying it's found because I moved this page into the testing subfolder. So let's delete that and go to the root of the temp folder, the home page of the temp folder. So press Enter, and we automatically go back to index.html. So if I click on page 1 now, we'll get the same error again, not found. So let's go back. And the reason is, of course, is that page1.html is now in the testing subfolder. So let me minimize the browser. Okay, what I've actually done, I've minimized the browser and I've opened up Mozilla Composer. So I'm going to go there now and I'm going to open up File Open. On the desktop, open up index.html. And here's our link to page 1, which isn't working, of course. So I'm going to click here, insert link, and there's our link, and I need to change that link. So rather than just linking to page1.html in the same folder, I need to add at the beginning testing / and OK that. And save, file save, and go back to FTP, upload, and OK, let's find our index file, there, edit, copy to write. Do you wish to overwrite the existing index.html file? Yes. OK, back to the browser. And here's our index.html file. At the moment, it's currently showing the old version. If we click, it tries to go to page1.html in the current folder, and it doesn't exist. So let's go back. Let's refresh. And I'm going to resize the browser again. So now, if I hold the mouse over the page 1 link, you'll see now the link has changed, as it's changed in the web page, and I've uploaded it. It's linking to temp / testing /. So it's linking to the place I've updated it to, the testing folder, which is a subfolder of the temp folder. So let me maximize the browser, click, and there you see that it works. It goes to the correct address. So that's how you can use FTP to upload your files to the web, rename your files if you wish, delete them, create folders, move files in and out of folders, and then change links. If you do move files, change links, because you do need to appropriately. So with a website and a web host, and after you've created your web pages, and then with FTP software, that's everything you need to get your pages which you've created onto the web and live for people to visit.